tonight on Elon Local News.
I remember feeling like, oh wow, like I'm it.
We take a look at the lack of diversity in fellows programs on Elon's campus.
We talk to Residents Life about the changes in the housing selection process this year.
And 2 students are documenting what it means to fail.
All that and more.
Elon Local News starts right now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Hello and thank you for watching Elon Local News. I'm Perry Elliott-Durrani.
And I'm Jackie Pascal. We begin tonight with a developing story. The Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity has been placed on social probation. Director of Fraternity and Sorority Life, Dan Fail, confirmed in an email this morning that the fraternity is banned from holding any social events, either on or off campus, through the end of the semester. No fraternity-sponsored events with alcohol are allowed until next January. Lambda Chi Alpha appealed to the decision regarding social events, but the process will take a few weeks. Elon News Network will continue to update this story online as more information is released.
The Elon community is in mourning after the death of longtime staff member Frances McKenzie. The university announced her death over the weekend. Frances, a 31-year-old veteran of the Office of University Engagement, had been serving as the coordinator of database management. There was a service today at Front Street United Methodist Church. Frances was 75.
This weekend is Fellows Weekend, which means high school students from all over the country are coming to Elon in hopes of being accepted to one of the 6 programs. Fellows programs allow students to learn more about leadership, communications, education, and more. But our Andrew Feather looked into what is missing from these programs.
You feel very pressured because you're supposed to be like that token minority who's made it to the promised land. You're in one of the higher level fellows programs, and you're supposed to be the voice of your people.
Mariatu Akanafua is a sophomore honors fellow at Elon. When she came to campus last year, one of the first things she noticed was a lack of diversity.
I remember feeling like, oh wow, like I'm it.
As one of 3 black honors fellows in her class of 40, Akanafua feels her classmates look to her to represent the entire black community, especially on discussions regarding race.
I kind of felt, I wouldn't say pressured or burdened to give that opinion, but people were definitely waiting for me to speak.
The lack of diversity extends across Elon's Fellows programs. The university declined to provide information related to diversity in the Fellows programs, but several list their members. A quick scroll through the website show a lack of visible racial and ethnic diversity. Freshman communications fellow Lumiere Rostick is the only African American in her class. She says that because of a lack of diversity, it can be hard to find others that share similar interests to collaborate with.
It's difficult sometimes to put out media and make movies or make stories about things that I'm passionate about or things that matter to me.
Tom Mold, director of the Honors Fellows program, says diversity in the programs has been a priority, but over time there's been a more diverse applicant pool as the university focuses on attracting a more diverse student body.
We now are getting more diverse students applying to the program. So in the past, we just had a smaller group of folks that were sort of out there in contention.
And Rostick says adding more diversity is crucial.
There can't just be that one person where they say they met their quota. There can't just be one where they're like, okay, you're good enough, we'll take you, and then everyone else, can be white.
Andrew Feather, Elon Local News.
For that full story, we'll have more on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, later tonight.
There's an Elon professor who's taking his work to the courts. When he's not working at Elon as an adjunct professor, Bob Martin is helping find representation for the Vargas Mendez family in Alamance County. They're a Hispanic family with an 18-year-old son, Alan, who's living in Alamance County without documentation. Alan Vargas Mendez was recently in Alamance County criminal courts for a number of arrests in the past year and a half before even entering the court building. He was taken by immigration and customs agents, commonly referred to as ICE, enforcement officers. He is now being held in Georgia, and his family doesn't know what's next. Martin was the first Spanish-speaking lawyer in Alamance County, and he wants to help.
I'm doing it because I'm able to do it and because it's the right thing to do. Somebody needs my help, and I have the capacity to help, so it's not even a choice for me.
Housing selection time is here. Our Kelly Tracy tells us about one student who was affected by last year's system crash and how Residents Life plans to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Senior Julia Guilfoyle loads her laptop in her backpack and buckles the bag, grabs her keys, hops in her car, and drives to campus.
I gotta load everything up in the car that I'm gonna need for the day. I might forget something, so I'll have to try to find time to get back, and I have to drive all the way over there, lug it across campus, lug it all back to my car, come back home, lug it upstairs.
Guilfoyle didn't expect this type of commute to class her senior year, and is just one of the students affected by the housing selection system crash last year. She says her and her roommates were originally assigned to Mill Point before the online server crashed. Residence Life emailed them after the crash, saying the sign-up process would restart and they would lose their apartment.
If it wasn't going to be Mill Point, that I wanted somewhere that I would still be happy in, and a freshman dorm or a sophomore dorm wasn't going to provide that same feeling for me.
So Guilfoyle decided to live at the Retreat, a pet-friendly apartment complex about 2 miles away in Burlington. With no roommate, she pays $999 per month for a 2-bedroom apartment compared to $773 per month in a 4-person Mill Point apartment. Senior Associate Director of Residence Life, Marquita Barker, says the online housing selection process was redesigned this year so that each student has his or her own time slot to sign up under the room selection tab. The goal, she says, to lighten site traffic to avoid another system crash. Barker declined to go on camera, but says juniors and seniors will still sign up based on a combination of GPA and number of semesters living on campus. Sophomores, however, will now sign up with a random time assigned to them. Barker says if there is another crash, Residence Life will quickly communicate a solution with students. Kaylee Tracy, Elon Local News.
And that housing selection process officially kicked off yesterday. Students living in the station at Mill Point or Park Place renew their contracts, and tomorrow juniors and seniors can sign up for the station at Mill Point until spaces fill up, and Wednesday all the other juniors and seniors begin signing up for Park Place until those spaces fill. Sophomores begin the housing process March 27th through the 28th for apartments and March 29th through the 30th for residence halls. For more information, visit www.elon.edu/residencelife.
Well, for seniors counting down, graduation is only 82 days away. However, for some Elon students, graduation took place yesterday. The master's students of the Physician Assistant Studies program walked across the stage in Whitley Auditorium. The ceremony honored the 38 students of the class of 2017, including 6 members of the Pi Alpha Honor Society, which recognizes PA graduate students with a final GPA of 3.5 or above. It's impressive. The ceremony ended with outdoor pictures. Friends and family enjoyed hors d'oeuvres in the second floor of Lakeside. And Elon News Network congratulates the class of 2017 on their accomplishments.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at a unique course at Elon.
And we talked to 2 Elon student documentary makers who are redefining what it means to fail.
One sentence on a billboard is all it takes to spark heated debate. Just outside Winston-Salem, a billboard saying "Real men provide, real women appreciate it" has been gaining national attention. Protests are being organized by community members to have the sign taken down. According to CNN, owner of the Whitehart Billboard Company, Bill Whitehart, will not release the name of the advertiser and says the company does not endorse the message. The billboard will be up for 30 days and can be extended at the buyer's will.
Over winter term, 23 Elon faculty and staff members put together a last-minute 1-credit pass or fail course about the effects of the 2017 presidential election. The class, called Refusing to Wait, is unlike any other class Elon has had. The faculty and staff members are not getting paid to teach the course. They say they're just doing it out of their civic duty. This week, the 77 students in the class will present an action plan, a topic or theme that they want to focus on for the remainder of the semester in order to make positive change. Senior Ben Bridges' topic emphasizes art as a medium for political messages.
I think it's great to see a bunch of civic engagement and activism on campus, and more Elon students, and honestly college students around the country, really engaging in that civic action. And so the fact that a group of 20-ish professors and staff members were providing the space and a class to do that, I think that's awesome. And I think would have been a total missed opportunity had I not enrolled in this class.
One of the professors in the program, Tom Mold, says that he wants students to engage in public discourse no matter what their political views are. I think the question on at least my mind is, we've been having this great weather for the past week, but it was a little chillier today.
Oh, absolutely. Yesterday and today, I definitely felt the need to put on my jacket. But Rachel Ellis is live from Citroen Plaza with your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Rachel, I'm hoping it gets a little warmer. What can you tell us?
Good evening, Jackie and Perry. Well, it looks like the consistent patterns of having the cooler temperatures on the the warmer temperatures on the weekend and the cooler temperatures during the week is staying consistent here in Elon. And on top of all of that, the drastic change in temperatures from morning to evening every day, at least for the next few days, is quite crazy, especially when deciding what you're going to put on your body, your wardrobe in the morning, and deciding which layers to shed and which to keep on. So with that, tonight we're seeing pretty mild temperatures. Right now it's in the mid 60s, and tonight it's dipping down into the lower 60s as well. Tomorrow we'll be seeing a low of 61 degrees with a high of 74. And on Wednesday, talk about drastic change in temperatures. We'll be seeing a low of 46 degrees and a high of 81. Talk about change. And on Thursday, we'll be seeing a low of 65 degrees and a high of 81. And lastly, for your Friday, we'll be seeing a low of 28, a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing throughout the past week, and a high of 56. So Jackie and Perry, make sure you bundle up this week because it's going to be a bit cold, but hopefully towards the weekend we'll be able to shed some layers and enjoy the sunshine, once again. Back to the studio.
I hope so.
Thank you, Rachel.
Well, failing, flopping, and messing up, that's all part of college and even life. The two Elon students are highlighting members of the Elon community who have failed and gotten right back up again. Senior Ty Glover and junior Keith DeWitt are creating Phoenix Flops, a documentary showcasing 15 people discussing failure and resilience.
Took this idea of wouldn't it be cool if we could explain failure in a new way, have students see and view failure in a totally new light, and now that that's actually going to happen, that's amazing.
One of the featured students is Martin Sharp. When he was in high school, he was unable to sell a family friend's car online. He learned that relationships are a key part of sales. He's rebounded from the failure and the downfalls he still faces.
Continuing to fail has just been kind of the way I've learned to work, and just improving upon everything you do. You can't learn from doing it perfect. You don't know what you get wrong.
The documentary is set to premiere in April. Glover and DeWitt are hoping to host it in Turner Theater.
Elon rolled out the red carpet Sunday evening for their Oscars viewing party. Starting an hour before the show, students sat in Turner Theater waiting to see who would win an Oscar. Students also filled out a ballot to vote for who they thought would win each category. Students who filled in the most votes correctly won a gift card to Carousel Cinemas. And at the Oscars last night, La La Land took home the most awards, snagging 6. And in an envelope mix-up, the movie was thought to have won Best Picture, only to be quickly realized that Moonlight actually won. But the big winners last night were Elon students. Students in the Elon in LA program attended the Oscars and experienced the red carpet live. While they were there, they made sure to snap a quick picture with 360-degree camera to show the whole experience. We asked one of them what they thought about the event.
We could essentially see people coming in from one angle and then going in from another, so that was really neat and just absolutely insane. Like every single famous person I could imagine was there.
Wow, I cannot imagine being in their place. I saw some of their Snapchat stories. Unbelievable.
I'm so jealous. I actually did the LA program last year, and they had that same deal. And so the seats that they were sitting in, rather they were standing. And that's where the celebrities turn. So I mean, I saw on Facebook one of the students even like shook hands with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, with Denzel.
That was so cool.
Yeah,
so,
along with the audience members, of course, that came in. Yeah, that was unbelievable. Great Oscar show. Very fun to watch.
Well, after the break, stand-up comedians that are using their talents to raise money for a good cause.
And we talked to one student who is trying to bring about change in a different way.
One Elon student organized a stand-up comedy event. That's a direct response to President Trump's immigration ban. Paige Broso has more.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Sometimes the best way to get through something is to just laugh.
I recently deleted queen of Tinder. Thank you.
At least that's what Elon Jr. Matty Gross believes.
So as long as people are still laughing, it's like, all right, you have not broken us, not yet. Getting there, not yet.
Gross organized a comedy fundraiser to protest President Trump's executive order restricting specific countries from immigrating into the United States. The money raised is going to the ACLU, who works to protect the rights of immigrants. The executive order has been blocked by federal courts, but the White House is working on a revision to justify the order.
Kind of feels like I have to do something, like this is, now I can sleep at night because I did something.
The comedians didn't all focus on politics, but Spencer Hodges knew she needed to say something. She explained her frustration by comparing President Trump to Elon's President Lambert.
Is this the best time for him to leave? Honestly, can I just have one president that I respect? Just one. There's only one president who needs to be stepping down, and his name is not Leo Elizabeth Lambert.
The fundraiser made over $500 for the ACLU and gave students a way to engage in national politics right here at Elon.
If your administration isn't going to do something, then it's like up to the people and the constituents to fight for what they want.
One of the silver linings of this election cycle has been getting more college students involved in causes like this, and I'm so glad to see that people are willing to show up.
Paige Peroso, Elon Local News.
Gross hopes to plan more comedy shows like this for other causes in the future. The White House is expected to release their revised immigration policy this week.
Well, if you didn't catch the stand-up event, maybe some of these upcoming events are for you. Here's what is happening on campus this week. Tonight at McCrary Theater, there will be an African American History Month showcase titled Tanzania. The show will include student and faculty performers, and it's free. It starts at 7:30. And tomorrow afternoon, there will be a social change workshop sponsored by Elon's Departments of Health Promotion and Violence Response. The event will use themes from historical and contemporary movements to help participants create an action plan for change. The event will take place from 4:30 to 6:30 in the Ward Octagon Room in the Mosley Center.
Also on Tuesday, there will be a viewing party in Mosley to watch President Trump's address to a joint session of Congress. The watch party is part of the Political Engagement Series, which is designed to enhance civic engagement efforts on campus. The event is sponsored by Elon Political Engagement and Elon Votes. It will begin at 8:30. And finally, if you're looking to cheer on the Phoenix, the women's basketball team will take on UNC Wilmington Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Alumni Gym.
The Elon men's basketball team secured the 5th seed at the Colonial Athletic Association tournament with a win on Saturday. The Phoenix finished its regular season and celebrated senior night with a 22-point blowout against Delaware. Junior guard Dimitri Thompson led the Phoenix with 22 points, and sophomore guard Danian Swoop added 14. And you can be sure to follow along with our coverage of the CAA tournament next weekend. Our sports team will be with the basketball team in Charleston on Saturday as the Phoenix takes on William and Mary in its first game of the tournament. If Elon wins, the Phoenix will play Sunday at 2.
Usually Global Commons is used as a study space, but this wasn't the case Friday night. The first annual Elon Ball brought almost 900 students to Global Commons, and it was filled with music and dancing, food and friends. The Student Government Association Executive President Kyle Porro says this turnout, it was a pleasant surprise.
Really our biggest fear, but kind of the hardest thing, was we knew we could plan it, we knew we could get it all set up, but just getting the people there was kind of the big challenge. And I have been blown away with the turnout that we've had, and I could not be happier with that part.
The event's purpose was to be an inclusive event for all Elon students and just a chance to dress up. Porro says the high turnout means that the Elon Ball will become a tradition for years to come.
Did you end up going to the Elon Ball?
You know what? I had another obligation I was supposed to go to. I was so bummed, though, because I saw pictures and it seemed like so much fun.
Yeah, there were a ton of us here from the Elon News Network crew. It was a lot of fun. You'll have to get there next year.
Next year, for sure.
Yeah. Well, coming up, we talk to one blogger using his platform to try and challenge the status quo. And as Black History Month comes to an end, we look at how one student is using his platform for change. Our Paula Blanc has the story.
I think that the world defines who Black people are a little too often, and we often don't get a say in that.
What started as an idea for senior Chan Little spun into a statement. Little runs a daily vlog called Chan Daily that usually focuses on fashion, but for Black History Month, he decided to dig deeper.
Black Solidarity Day on campus, our t-shirts actually say, "My Black is solid." So my inspiration kind of came from that. And I was just like, okay, my Black is also a lot of other things as well.
My Black is motivating.
My Black is joy.
My Black is unapologetic.
My Black is revolutionary. My Black is polarizing.
Olivia Murray, who was featured in the video, says it's an important challenge to the status quo.
Within the media and with misrepresentation of Black culture, in so many different forms, that it's important to realize everything that your Black is.
According to Little, that's exactly the point.
There's the funny Black guy that dies first in every horror movie, and then there is, the single Black mother that can't seem to recoup or get on her feet, and then you have roles that are just so stereotypical.
Despite the more serious statements, Little says his vlog still has the same goal.
If you're going into my blog and feeling any other way than good, then I'm doing something wrong.
Paul LeBlanc, Elon Local News.
And you can check out all of Chan's videos and content at chanlittle.com. And what a powerful message that is.
I know. What a nice way to kind of start a conversation about some things that people may not willingly open about normally.
Absolutely. Great way to end our Black History Month and wrap up the month.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight.
Well, for all the news you need to know when we're off the air, you can check out our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
And follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
Have a great week, Elon.